All right, welcome back to my channel, guys. It's another day in the shop. It's a beautiful sunny Saturday, but we're inside here working on this Unimog. In the last episode, you saw us build a winch system for that spare tire, but today we're gonna mount it. Okay, so we have to build a tire carrier that's strong enough to hold a 300 to 400 pound tire. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, so when we first built this bed, we didn't have the wheels. And so we didn't have the measurements to finish building this spare tire carrier here. So we've already got a pretty good start on it, and it's really, really beefy. But we were thinking we were gonna use 4-inch rec tube, but that's changed. These tires are massive, they're heavy, and we want to beef it up a little bit more. So yeah, we had a 4x4 cutout here. We're actually gonna beef it up. We're gonna do a 4x8. So we're gonna cut up a little bit more and cut down just a little bit more and have a 4x8 hole there to stick the rec arm through and weld it in, and it's gonna be really, really strong. We wanna over-engineer this thing. We don't want any mishaps. We want this 300 to 400 pound spare tire on there for good. All right, so we got our steel here. This is a 1/2-inch circle that we had cut out at Swift Steel, and this is a big 4x8 piece of rec tube. It's 3/8 wide. We get all our steel at Swift Steel, so they cut this out for us with the plasma cutter, and then this we picked up as scrap. Now, those of you that don't fabricate probably think that this looks really, really bad. It's a rusty piece of steel, but those of you that do fabricate know that this is perfectly good. It's just got a little bit of surface rust on it, and it's 3/8 thick. So this piece of scrap steel is a heck of a deal. Now, for reference, you buy these in 20-foot sections, okay? So a 3/8 thick 4x8 tube, for reference, is about 600 pounds. So this little piece of scrap steel we found is a deal, smoking deal. And yeah, we're gonna put it on that Unimog. So that's the basic plan, guys. We're gonna take that 4x8 rec tube and weld it to that 1/2-inch thick circular plate, which the tire is gonna bolt to. But before we do any of that, we have a lot of prep work and a lot of measuring to do, so let's get to it. Remy says, thank you for all the support to anybody who went to threecreeksbackcountry.com and ordered anything off our website. He really appreciates it. And yeah, more treats for him. All right, so we are up on a ladder looking at the work that we got to do. We traced the 4x8 outline here. And yeah, these radiuses here are the ones that are going to be tricky. Okay, we're up on the ladder. I'm just giving you guys a close-up of what we got going on. So this is what we did with the cutting disc. We basically just chopped away through and through. And now we're gonna put the flap disc on there, smooth this out. Once it's all smoothed out, we'll bevel the edges, and then we'll prep around the weld area, get everything nice and clean, and it'll be good to go. All right, we got Megan here. She helped me haul the 70-pound beast up here, this 3/8 thick 4x8 rec tube. But anyway, yeah, that worked out perfectly. You can see this thing just fits through here. It's nice and tight. We're gonna bevel this edge, kind of like down here. We're gonna bevel it all the way around to get a really, really good weld. But this is opposite. So this long side is actually gonna be sticking out this way, and then the short side is gonna be over here. But this is just to make sure that everything fits, and it does. Yeah. What's wrong, bub? You cold?
I told them we were going on a trail ride.
All right, well, better hit the road. Quick note here. So we could have just welded this to the outside of this and it would have been really strong. It would have been a really, really strong carrier, but we're going above and beyond. So that's why we cut this hole here and sent this whole tube through here. So we have double the welds, basically double the strength. Yeah, we want this thing beefy, and we don't ever want this thing to break. That is gonna be it for this Unimog tonight. We're covered in steel. We're gonna go shower so that we can be ready and be on call for an off-road recovery. It's a Saturday night, so we're probably gonna get at least one. We always do. People love getting stuck on Saturday nights. Other than that, it's UFC 299 tonight, so we'll be tuning into that for sure. My personal prediction is I think O'Malley's gonna defend. I think Dustin's gonna take it. I don't know about Burns. He hasn't looked good since Hamzat, but Holland, I think he's gonna represent UFC well against Bellator's MVP. And then, yeah, I think Song takes on Jan for sure. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Quick side note before we pack it out, we just posted the last Unimog video this morning, and I'm getting a lot of comments about this puffer jacket being toast. Guess what, guys? I've been grinding and welding with this puffer jacket for years. It's definitely seen better days, but we just stitch it back up and keep on using it. This thing is great. Personally, yeah, I use the clothes that I wear. My wife hates it because I destroy everything. But yeah, I love this puffer jacket, and I'll just wear it until it can't be worn anymore. But I'm gonna weld in it, I'm gonna grind in it, and I'm gonna work in it. Anyway, see y'all tomorrow. And we're back in the shop. It's not tomorrow, it's actually a few days later. We ordered studs and lug nuts, but yeah, they arrived today, so we're gonna be working on the Unimog again. We have to drill out that plate, and then hopefully we can weld in those studs tonight. It's pretty late in the afternoon. It's past 5 o'clock, but we're here. We're working on this Unimog, and yeah, let's get to it. One more thing, actually. UFC 299, our predictions were pretty good. Sean O'Malley defended. Dustin Poirier came through. Burns didn't look good again. Holland, he did lose to MVP. And then, yeah, Song did lose to Jan, but it was a great card. They were great fights, and yeah, the O'Malley-Vera fight it was a good fight for sure. Marlon got pieced up. But anyway, yep, working on the Mog. Let's get to it. Don't you guys just love it when things work out first try? Yeah, so we got the 3 bolts in, and they slid right in. They're not welded in yet. We were planning on welding them tonight, but it's pretty late, guys. So we're just gonna do it tomorrow. And yeah, we still gotta set up the welder and everything. We had to go get some more gas. But yeah, these are 18 mil bolts, 10.9s, the good stuff. We're gonna use 3 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten the nut down, the lug nuts tomorrow, and then we're gonna tack these in place, undo the lug nuts, and then fully weld them. And yeah, this thing's gonna be really, really strong, I'm telling you. And then we're gonna take that square tube, or actually the rec tube, and then we're gonna weld it to this. And it is gonna be strong. Holy heck, tomorrow we are gonna spend pretty much all day working on this thing, unless we get a recovery or a tow, but we're really hoping to just work all day on this Unimog if we can. But anyway, that's it for us tonight. That's gonna be a wrap for us tonight. We're gonna hopefully finish this thing tomorrow if we can get away with it. We drilled 3 3/4 inch holes in this 1/2 inch plate. That definitely took a while. But yeah, tomorrow, hopefully, we can weld that rec tube on here and get everything moving. Anyway, that's it for us. See y'all tomorrow. All right, it's another cold morning in the shop, but today's gonna actually warm up to about 45 and sunny. So yeah, we're pretty happy about that. Anyway, let's get started on this thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep these for welding. We're gonna take these out. We're gonna flap disc and grind this all off, clean it up. Clean up this whole area, clean up this whole area, and then we're gonna take these out and we're gonna clean these up too. They're covered in oil from the factory. So we're gonna grind these down to bare steel, and then we're gonna bolt the lug nuts to these and tack them in place. And then, yeah, take the whole plate out and then fully weld them in. And yeah, it's gonna be real strong. Let's get started. All right, so these are fully bolted in. We got lug nuts in the back. You can see that we cleaned up this weld area and then we acetoned it. So yeah, these are really clean. We're just gonna tack them in place and then unbolt everything and then fully weld it all the way around. All right, the plate's good. We took our time welding so that we wouldn't warp that plate. It's just a flat plate. Even though it's 1/2 inch, these things do still warp and we can't have that. But anyway, she fits right in and those things aren't going anywhere. That's strong as can be. Anyway, onto the tube. All right, we got the big piece of reg tube here and we're actually taking a couple measurements because we want to cut this down. We don't actually want 8 inches here and I'll show you exactly why with our honey bunches of oats cut out. All right, we're back at the wheel here and we have our honey bunches of oats cut out of that 4x8 rec tube. And you can see here, if we were to just weld this in, we would have absolutely no adjustment. Yeah, it would just be welded in all the way around. But because we made half this carrier, like we did most of this carrier before we actually had the specs for the tires and the wheels and everything. So that height is final. And now this height is adjustable. So we're actually gonna cut down the 4x8 by 2 to 3 inches so that we have that 2 to 3 inches of adjustment still to get that sitting at the absolute perfect height. All right, so hopefully I explained that pretty well, but it looks like we actually have quite a bit of work to do. We can't just weld the tube on there because we want that final height perfect. So we're gonna have to cut that tube, weld it, and then stick it in there so we can get the perfect distance for it. We approximated the measurements, but we want it perfect. And then we have to pick the tire back up, okay, so we can set it at the exact height that we want it and basically trace out wherever that rec tube ends up on there, wherever we want it. If we want it up a little bit or down a little bit, wherever we want it, we're gonna pick this tire up, trace it out, get the final measurements, and then fully weld it in. So we have a full day of work ahead of us for sure. All right, so we got our rec tube here ready to go. So we're actually gonna take the cutting disc, cut this all the way out. We're gonna cut out this little section too, and then we're gonna score this right here a good ways through and then just bend this. And this is actually gonna be the hinge. This is gonna fall right into place. This is gonna fall in line somewhere over here. And then we'll just straight cut it all the way through, weld everything, we'll bevel it, we'll weld it. Yeah, we'll get this thing cleaned up way before we do that. But that's the basic plan. All right, so we're just gonna tack both sides and then fully weld this thing. All right, we were just finishing welding that reg tube and we got a call for an off-road recovery. We got 2 cars stuck way up on Green Ridge, 19 miles out at elevation. So yeah, we're gonna go pull them out. They sounded really stressed, so we're gonna get to them as quickly as possible. Hopefully we got some time to work on this Mog when we get back, but they're way out there, so we'll probably get back when it's dark. Anyway, I might see you guys tomorrow, but I might see you later. Phew. All right, well, it's the next day, and it's actually the next afternoon. That recovery was wild. They were so far back in the woods. I basically dragged a Ford Explorer 7 miles back to pavement, and then went back the following morning to get the Ford Escape, and that turned into a whole ordeal, and I didn't get any of it on camera. Some of these recoveries, we just got to work. And it was an elderly couple in their 70s, and so we were just focused on getting them back, and getting them back to safety. But yeah, the Ford Escape, that one went good until it didn't. It went good until they actually got 2 flat tires, and then no problem, we'll just pump it up with my pump. The pump failed, so then we're out there miles out, and they have 2 flats, and now my compressor's busted and I'm low on pressure. So we went all the way back, got the Fuso, and the Fuso saved the day. The Fuso FG came through. We weren't sure if we were actually gonna be able to haul that car on the back of the Fuso through about a foot of snow all the way back, but the Fuso crushed it. So we're super proud of that Fuso today. Everybody's back to safety, and we're real tired, but we just had some coffee and we're gonna work on this Unimog. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, so this is what we got going on. We had actually just finished welding that when we got the call and then hauled out of here. So what we gotta do now is we gotta just kind of cut that nice and straight right there, and then take this thing, stick it through that, and then pick that tire up, put it over here, and then take a whole bunch of measurements and then take it all back apart. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, quick update. We got the rec tube through the hole, and now we're gonna bolt the plate to that tire and then winch the tire up and then trace this on the plate and get it at the perfect ride height, then take everything back out and get it all welded. We're also gonna mark the back here where to cut that so it's not sticking up too far, and then we have to cap it on this side. We have to cut that, cap it on this side, and then weld that plate in, and we should be good to go. That should be it. All right, here we are with the final measurements. So yeah, we got the tire back up, and this is just loosey-goosey here, but yeah, that's where it's gonna be. That's gonna be the final height. And then yeah, this is gonna be the length. So we got 2 measurements in one. So now we're gonna take everything back down, chop this, cap it, and then weld that on there, stick it back in, weld everything in, cap this, and call it a day. But that's gonna be another day, not tonight. Yeah, it's a Friday night and we're absolutely exhausted from the big recovery today. So we're calling it a night on this Unimog, and we're probably not going to get to it for a couple days. Tomorrow's a big Saturday. We're going way up in the mountains and having a little snow fire, a little snow wheeling adventure, and then doing any off-road recoveries we come across. There's probably going to be a couple. Probably going to, pull out a few Jeeps, I reckon. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. All right, welcome back. It's another sunny Sunday in the shop working on this Unimog. Hopefully we don't get too many off-road recoveries so we can finish this thing today. What we have left to do is we have to cut the rec tube to the right length. We have to prep it to weld, so we're gonna get all that surface rust off, and then we're gonna bevel it really nice, and then we have to weld it to that 1/2-inch plate. We're probably gonna triple pass weld it. We want it to be really, really strong, and we have a little welder, so we're gonna have to hit it 3 times, and then we have to cap it, stick it through the vertical support, okay? And then weld that in place, and then cap that vertical support, and then we are done with this mount. I think we can get that done today, but let's get started. So yesterday we got a package in the mail, and Stasworks actually sent us these shirts. They watched the video that me and Megan did on these wheels, and yeah, they liked it so much that they sent us these shirts. So thanks, Stasworks. You look dirty. What you working on?
My truck.
2 full hours we just spent prepping that steel for welding, but it'll be well worth it when those welds are nice and strong. We're probably gonna triple pass the tube onto the plate. We want it as strong as possible, and we beveled it real good. We got all the mill scale off, and yeah, we're probably gonna be welding for the rest of the afternoon, so let's stop wasting time and let's get to it. All right, so here we are. We're almost in final form here, just about ready to weld. You can see we have this beveled all the way around. Everything's nice and clean. And yeah, we're probably gonna triple pass this with our little Miller Multimatic 215. And yeah, we're actually gonna, we're gonna keep the plate bolted into the wheel just to help a little bit to prevent that warping. We're gonna weld as slow as we can. Everything warps when you put enough heat into it. So we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna weld evenly. And yeah, we're really gonna take our time with this to get the strongest weld with the least amount of warpage. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, we got the first pass done here. This is the root pass, and we really took our time with this. We're gonna let this cool down and then start on that second pass in probably about 20 minutes or so. So yeah. All right, here we go. It's looking real good, but we're not quite ready to weld it in place yet. So we do have this plate fully welded on. We did do a triple pass, and yeah, it didn't warp. Everything is good, but what we're gonna do is make a couple gussets. So yeah, we're gonna put a gusset on each side just to kind of prevent any lateral movement. Yeah, and that's gonna be the plan for tomorrow because it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and we are done for the night for sure. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, it's late afternoon, and yeah, we're gonna try to get some work done on this Mog. We just got back from an off-road recovery. We were 40 miles up the Santiam Pass, and we winched that rental car all the way up that icy hill and got him out. But now we're back in the shop, and we're gonna try to get this spare tire done today. We got to do a whole bunch of welding, a little bit of grinding before Megan gets back from work because we're going skiing. And yeah, let's see how much we can get done. All right, we're not gonna waste much time here. We got our gussets here. They're already cut out. They're actually just scrap from this tube here. But yeah, we got that down from over there, back on the table. We're gonna weld them in real quick before Megan gets home. And yeah, hopefully get this whole thing welded in there this afternoon. So no more talking, let's get to it. All right, we just got the text from the wife. She's on her way home, so we got to pack up, clean up, and get ready to go skiing. No more welding tonight, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. That first sip of coffee is real nice. We are in the shop again today, and we're gonna get this Unimog spare tire mount done. Yeah, towing an off-road recovery really seems to get in the way. We've been real busy. We should have been done a week ago, but we're motivated today. And yeah, we're hoping the phone doesn't ring so we can get this thing done. Let's get to it. We're up on the ladder here and we just slid it in and it's looking real nice. All we got to do is weld it in here, but right before that, we got to make sure that this is at the right angle. So we're going to go get our little angle cube and make sure that it's at the exact same angle as this. We got this little angle finder from Rogue Fabrication at the same time that we got our tubing bender. We have a Rogue Fab heavy duty tube bender. And yeah, this thing is actually amazing. I love this little cube finder. So we're just gonna zero it out. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it almost doesn't need to be zeroed. That's pretty dang close. But yeah, so zeroed out. And now we can pretty much find the angle here. So it looks like we just need to pick it up just a tiny little bit. And yeah, we're gonna make sure that that's practically at zero before we tack it in place. And yeah, then weld her in. All right, well, we knew it was too good to be true. We got a call, we got to go change a tire. Yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple hours. Sometimes we just we get so focused on getting something done that we forget things like eating. So it's 3 o'clock now, and we just realized that we haven't eaten yet today. So we're gonna go get some breakfast, go get some lunch, and then while we're eating, that thing's gonna cool down, and we're gonna finish welding it. This thing's for sure getting done today, so stay tuned. All right, there you guys have it. She's fully in there, and the only thing left to do is pretty much, pick that thing up and mount it, see how she fits. So now the only thing left to do besides mount it is our crossbar here. So we're gonna take a tube, okay, and we're gonna bend it so that it comes out just a little bit like this, flat across, and then bends back this way. And it's gonna be flush with this piece right here because the bottom of the tire is actually gonna be just a little bit, but it's gonna be pressed into this. And then, yeah, the top of the tire is gonna be pressed into that bar. That way, that is holding some weight, this is holding some weight, this is holding some weight, and there's gonna be absolutely no rattling. Rattling is what eventually breaks down welds, and so we want that rubber kind of squished gently up against all three of these, well, I guess the two surfaces here, and then the weight, most of the weight's gonna be here. But the point is we don't want any vibrations, and that's why we're gonna have to put a little cross beam right there. But that cross beam is for another day. I know they don't stock DOM tubing at Swift Steel in Redmond, so we're gonna have to special order it. So today, in today's video, that is gonna be mounted here, and that's gonna be it. So let's get to it. We got a visitor.
Hello. Hello.
What do you think of the spare tire, Maggie?
Yeah, nice. Good job.
What you got in the box?
I don't know, but I got your socks. Hopefully, was chewing on.
Hey, Bubba. All right, guys, I got some really good news and I got some really, I guess, bad news. Not that bad. But anyway, the spare tire is fully mounted. She's on there and she looks great. The bad news is I didn't hit the record button. I had the phone set up on the tripod and I didn't hit the record. So sometimes that just happens. But anyway, she's up there. It didn't take that long. It took me like 8 minutes to do by myself. I just hooked up a little rope to the bottom of it so I could pull it out and winch it up at the same time. And yeah, she bolted right in. So let's go take a look at this thing. Yeah, so there she is. There's no ropes holding it up. 300 to 400 pound spare tire, fully mounted. Now there's still a couple things left that we got to do, okay? So you can see here that, let's see if I can get the phone in here. Let me see here. That is right up against the steel, and it's, if you actually could see the angle, it's actually pressed into the steel because I don't want this, I don't want any vibration, and I don't want this tire to be able to twist at all. This is a 54-inch tire, guys. There is so much leverage. So what we're gonna do next, okay, I already mentioned it once in this video, but we're gonna put a crossbar. Okay, we're gonna put a crossbar there. That way the tire just kind of cinches up against it. And we're not actually gonna take the tire down to build it. We're just gonna undo the nuts a little bit so the tire leans this way, just a tiny little bit. And then we're gonna weld that bar in and then re-cinch it down. We're not gonna put that in this video because that's really just extra stuff that you guys don't need to see. The big deal is that this thing is mounted. But there you guys go. 300 plus pound spare tire carrier. Beefy as can be. Yes, simple as can be, beefy as can be, strong as can be. Just in case you guys are wondering what she looks like from the inside. There you have it. We didn't want any moving parts in this spare tire. So let me talk to you guys about that real quick. All right, so throughout the spare tire carrier build process, I've had some videos out and a lot of people have a lot of suggestions on the way that they think they should do it. But I just gotta say that I wanted to make the simplest mount possible, and I did. I want it simple, I want it strong. This is not an overland rig. I had a couple people mention, you know, the, what are they called? The Earth Cruiser rigs that actually have a huge spare tire mount that comes down like this and swing out tire carriers that are strong. I don't want any moving parts. All those parts have consumable parts, okay? Whether it be bearings or hinges or whatever, I don't want any consumable parts on this spare tire mount other than the winch line and the winch, okay? So I want it to be as simple and as strong as possible, and that's exactly how we built it. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like the video, and I hope you guys appreciate the simplicity in the build that I'm doing. I'm not necessarily building the most complicated thing here, but I just need it to be simple and strong, and I guarantee you, those Earth Cruiser builds, yeah, they don't have a 300 to 400 pound spare tire. So yeah, this spare tire carrier is built for strength and simplicity, not necessarily efficiency, okay? So yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not sure what's next for the Unimog yet. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I gotta do. And yeah, there's a few new variables that have been thrown into the equation. So I'm not sure what we're gonna work on next, but anyway, you guys can count on it that we are gonna be working on something for sure. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.